We'll continue breaking down the Yilu form, the first form of the Chen style Taiji Chuan practical method as taught by Chen Zhonghua. Okay, it's the important form. It's the structure form. All right. So we'll break the next move down and just continue in this series of taking each individual move and really going into a little more detail on it. All right. So the next move is turn left, Buddha's warrior attendant pounds the mortar. So we had just finished with single whip. So we're in our single whip position, okay? And now we're going to do a series of moves before we move to the Buddha's warrior attendant pounds the mortar. So normally when I initially teach it, I just have people do this. 1, 2. Now notice the elbows didn't move, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So close in, it looks like this for the beginner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And again, that's for the beginner, the by the numbers approach when someone's first learning the form. Again, if you try to layer on too many of the principles and you overwhelm them with all this information, they're going to get frustrated and quit. And if some of you got people out of teaching practical method have experienced this, okay, you've got to reevaluate your teaching process. All right? So let's go now a little bit deeper. So now what we're going to do is from here, I'm going to rotate my arms. And as I rotate my arms, this is going to stay very open, and I rotate the arms. So when I move in, it'll look like this. So you'll see my body, there's an action here, right? So you see, there's an action. Now there's going to be another action, okay? So my body actually is moving like this, and it's moving like this, my body. So I go here. Now as I go here, you see I'm trying to exaggerate the action for you a little bit, and then it comes back to the other side. Now I open the quad here and push the quad out, bringing this arm here, and then this switches. Okay? So from further out, so you can see the full body, we go 1. And again, this is a real good example of that gearbox. So I'm not letting my knees collapse. My knees are fixed and very open. I go like this and I create that rotation. Now I come back here, rotate again, but the knees don't move, and then we switch. Okay? So this is the way you want to work that move. So my advice is always to try to create an action with the body that gets the arms to move. Remember the gearbox, okay? That's what we're trying to create, okay? So knees fixed, don't let them move, all right? Keep the legs very open. The quad should be stretched, okay? The dantian is fixed. Everything's moving around the dantian, right? That's what we want, okay? So if I'm doing this side of single whip, okay, my fingers on the area where I believe my dantian to be. So now I do this, right? And now as I come to the other side and here, notice now we switch and we switch. And notice the dantian stays fixed. But there is a lot of movement going around with my body. So you want to create an action. In the beginning, the action may be wrong. That's okay. Eventually, through working at it, you'll create the proper action. If you don't try to create an action, you'll never get it. So, again, it's as simple as that. You have to try to create an action, get the body to move, the dantian to be fixed so everything moves around the dantian. This is what we're striving for. Okay? So, now, Fajin. So, if I'm going to work this particular move with Fajin, all right, then I'm going to come here, right? And I might do this initially, right? 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 So here, right? Now, the next move is I've caught the arm and now I'm going to throw him out, right? So, right? Next move, switch, right? So, right? So again, All right, so you have to work that with power. So from the side, the Fajin will look like this. Okay, and it's the same thing from the side. If I'm doing it with trying to create that gearbox effect, it's like this. And notice the hands are on a line. The hands stay on a line. One of the things you can do when you get to this position, you're allowed to just move that arm. So if you just move that arm, you're not in a violation of a rule. Okay, but if you do this, no. If your knees move, no, then you're violating the rule. So if once you get to here, if you just move your arm and nothing else, you're still within the framework of the rules. Okay, so let's talk about that little section with smoothness. So now I'm working smoothness. So now again, no stops, no power, very smooth. Just working on it, on being very smooth and totally relaxed. Okay, so again from the side, same thing, I'm here, here. But you still see the principles are all there. So even when I'm working it smoothly or working it with Fajin, the principles have to be there. So if you're only practicing the Yilu one way, that very static, all the time, and you're not trying to elevate yourself and practicing the Yilu in other ways, you won't get it. You won't get the full picture and you won't get the level of ability that we're all striving for. Okay? So let's take this move now into the Buddha's warrior, pounds the mortar. Okay. So we were here, 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 here. Now you can pivot this foot, and now you're here. And now you have to find your spot, and now this comes up. And as this comes up here, now the difference is this is going to be left fist, palm down, right hand open on top. So normal Buddha's warrior, we do this, but this time we're doing this. Okay, so a little bit different. All right, when I start filming application videos, it'll give you an idea of what some of the applications for this move is. All right, so again, I'll move in a little bit so you can see a little bit of a close-up. Right, I'm here. We start here. We do this. We come here. We do this. Now we turn. We shift. Now this gets pulled in, and we try to keep our body here where we pull this up and down. Now, again, a word on stomping. I just like to remind people of this. If you're going to stomp, you must make sure the whole bottom of the foot hits the ground at the same time. Okay? You don't, when you stomp, so I'll do this from the front here, right? When I come up, you don't want to be shifting your weight like this so that this knee does this. So when you stomp, you want to put it straight down, okay? That's what you want to do, all right? So I'm not advocating that you should practice stomping, but the one thing the stomping does do, strengthens the bones in your leg, okay? And I think it helps you understand your body to understand the nature of power, all right? But again, if you start doing it, your foot hurts, your ankle hurts, your knee hurts, your hip hurts, your head hurts, your neck hurts, your back hurts, anything hurts. Don't stop, stomp. Just place the foot down quietly. But even if you're not stomping, when you work on placing it down, place the whole foot at the same time. The whole foot at the same time. Okay? So let's talk a little bit again. We'll go from here now with this Buddha's warrior, right? So we want to be in a position where now this is free, right? So we find that spot, this leg becomes free, we come up here. Now, when we pull the knee up, a lot of people make the mistake of just pushing the knee up. That's what they do. What you want to do is, you want to, in your mind, you have to push into the fold. So you push into the fold. And when you push into the fold, your body has to contract like this. So it has to contract like this. Okay? So if I'm facing the front, as I pull up, right, my knee doesn't just do this. This pushes in, and the knee comes into my chest. And this is here. So everything compresses. All right? This is what you want to work on. All right? Then once you're here, this goes here, and now you come here. Again, right hand open on top of the left fist. That's palm down. So let's talk about this move with Fajin. Okay? We've already discussed this move with Fajin, so we won't spend a lot of time on it. You can go back to the opening move of the form. Buddha's warrior attendant pounds the mortar. Okay? And we're going to do this move a couple more times in the form. All right? So when we're here and we come up, right? This can be from here. It can be a punch. So when you punch, it's your hip. But this can also be a joint lock, right? But you can come up, and again, so Fajin, where you stomp the foot. Smoothness. We're working it smooth. We're here. We've done this. We turn, this comes up, and we're here, right? So from the front, we did this, here, turn, come up, and here. Very smooth and down, okay? So again, here, no stop signs, nice and smooth and down. So that's turn left, Buddha's warrior attendant, pounds the mortar. Again, you want to work the form many different ways. You want to work, obviously, Yilu start to finish. You also want to work the form with Fajin, and sometimes you want to work the form smooth, very smooth and flowy, okay? You also want to take these moves and figure out how they work on an opponent. You want to try to take some of these moves and use them in your push hands training, okay? So again, if you're working Fajin, the Yilu form is amazingly long. Do not try to issue on every move. You'll probably pass out a third of the way through the form. So what you do is you practice it once and you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to pick these spots in the form. And then what I do a lot of times is I'll do a whole Yilu and then I just take a section and I work that section. And I'll work that section maybe with Fajin. Then I'll work the section with smoothness. Then I'll look at that section for application principles. How could this be used in push hands? And that's how I work. If you're only practicing the form in practical method and you're doing no partner work, you're not practicing practical method. You're doing only one small aspect of it. You will never get ability, okay? It's an overall program. It's an overall system that consists of everything. Form, fighting applications, okay? Generation of power, all right? Body conditioning, you name it, it's in here, okay? It's no different than any other martial art. So, hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see you for Crane Spreads Its Wings. Thanks. Take care.